Imagine this. While the dark void of the universe keeps its silence, an extraordinary signal suddenly rises from the sky. Telescopes across the globe trigger alarms all at once, and scientists realize this is unlike anything we've ever seen before. It's not an asteroid, nor an ordinary comet. It defies the predictable lines of gravity, moves on a flawless trajectory, and enters our solar system at an unimaginable speed. And soon this visitor was given a name, 3I Atlas, the third and most mysterious traveler in the interstellar journey that began with Oumuamua and Borisov. Every piece of data gathered about it has pushed us to question the universe as we know it a little bit more. So was this merely a cosmic coincidence, or did it carry something much deeper, perhaps even a message capable of changing humanity's future? Let's dive in and uncover this great mystery together. By the way, if you enjoy this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Your support means a lot to me. Welcome to my channel, Discovery of the Mystery, where we will uncover the secrets. Everything began with an almost imperceptible vibration. An unusual fluctuation was detected in the data, as if the silence of the universe had been broken for just a brief moment. Soon after, telescopes across the world picked up an unexpected signal at the same time. Before long, NASA confirmed the phenomenon. This was unlike any object ever observed before. It did not follow the predictable paths of gravity, and it was coming from beyond the solar system. At first, it was dismissed as nothing more than a passing chunk of rock, but over time, the details began to surface. Extraordinary flashes of brightness, an almost mathematically perfect trajectory, and a terrifying speed of over 245,000 kilometers per hour. When scientists tracked the object, they were confronted with a shocking truth. It was heading straight for the heart of the solar system. Space had been silent for decades, but with the detection of this object, the James Webb Space Telescope immediately shifted its focus. And what it would reveal was perhaps something the world was not yet ready for. The spark of events had been ignited by something so quiet, yet so powerful. This extraordinary signal, observed worldwide, set the scientific community on high alert. All eyes turned to this unusual visitor, quickly becoming the focal point of global research. The observations carried out on the object began to reveal unexpected truths. Following the first signal, telescopes worldwide aligned. Laboratories went on alert. But this time, our gaze was not on a distant galaxies. It was fixed much closer, on a far stranger target. The James Webb Space Telescope, designed to understand the origins of the universe, was now being deployed to decode the extraordinary signals coming from an unknown object. And soon the source of this mystery was determined: an interstellar visitor. For billions of years, asteroids and comets have entered and exited the solar system. But only in the rarest of cases do interstellar travelers come to our door. In 2017, we saw the first. Oumuamua. Its bizarre shape sparked global debates. Its speed, rotation, and surface reflections remain unexplained. Then came Borisov in 2019. Though it resembled a classic comet, its chemical makeup revealed unusually rich gases. Both objects reminded us that the solar system is not a lonely island in the universe. Now a third visitor has appeared, 3I Atlas, discovered at the beginning of 2025 by the Atlas telescopes. Early observations showed that it was rapidly entering our system and shining with extraordinary brightness. Its orbit was unlike that of classical comets. Its origin clearly pointed to interstellar space. That's why scientists began asking with excitement, could this new guest be a much deeper key, combining both the mystery of Oumuamua and the secrets of Borisov? And this is exactly where James Webb came into play. The telescope turned its gaze to 360 and began using its unique technology to uncover the object's secrets. On August 6, 2025, James Webb's powerful instruments began to study 3I Atlas in detail. During these observations, the telescope's infrared sensors analyzed the gas and dust cloud emitted by the object. What emerged left scientists stunned. The coma of the comet was made up almost entirely of carbon dioxide. By contrast, there was virtually no water ice. The measured ratio was 8:1. In other words, for every unit of water, there were 8 units of carbon dioxide. This was one of the most unusual chemical balances ever observed among comets in the solar system. Typical comets are rich in water. Carbon dioxide, on the other hand, usually appears in much smaller amounts. But 3I Atlas seemed to break all these rules. As scientists debated why, 2 main possibilities emerged. Perhaps this comet had formed in a very different star system, under entirely different temperature and pressure conditions. Or maybe during its interstellar journey, its surface had gone through unusual processes. But beyond all these scientific explanations, some researchers raised a far more unconventional possibility. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, as he had once suggested with Oumuamua, proposed that such interstellar objects might not be of natural origin. According to him, such extraordinary speed, brightness, and orbital precision might not be the work of an ordinary comet. Perhaps 3I Atlas was an artificial object, designed by a distant civilization, maybe even a kind of interstellar probe. Disturbing as the idea might be, it has not been proven, but even the thought raises chilling questions. If this is a spacecraft, who sent it? And more importantly, why? Most other scientists, however, set this claim aside and focused on the data from the observations. Because whether natural or artificial, 3I Atlas was revealing an unexpected truth through the lens of James Webb. In short, James Webb wasn't just observing a comet, it was unveiling the chemical fingerprint of another world. After analyzing this data, researchers began asking deeper questions about the object's origin. The chemical signature revealed by Webb wasn't only surprising, it opened the door to an entirely new perspective on the universe. A comet's chemistry carries the imprint of the star system where it was born. The unusual structure of 3I Atlas suggests it formed on the outskirts of another star, under conditions very different from our own. Imagine, this object drifted for hundreds of millions of years through interstellar space, bombarded by cosmic radiation, until it finally entered the view of Earth's telescopes. The imbalances in its composition can be read like a kind of cosmic history book. That's why Webb's warning is not just about one comet, but about the sheer diversity that exists in the universe. If comets with such distinct chemistries exist, then perhaps every star system writes its own unique chemical story. And we are only just beginning to read the first chapters. The research didn't stop with Webb. After these startling findings, other telescopes also turned toward Atlas. The Hubble Space Telescope, SPIREX, and Europe's Very Large Telescope conducted follow-up observations. In short, telescopes around the world went on high alert. By combining all these observations, scientists pieced together an unprecedented portrait. Each new data set only deepened the mystery, and researchers kept circling back to the same question. What secrets does this visitor bring us? Could the unusual components discovered point not just to chemical oddities, but perhaps to messages about life itself? Some even suggested that 3I Atlas might be a silent messenger. Molecules traveling from one star to another may also be carrying the building blocks of life. The possibility that amino acids or prebiotic materials might be locked within these ices has scientists fascinated. Webb's discovery essentially tells us this: the universe is far stranger, far more diverse, and far more mysterious than we imagine. While we look up at the sky, fragments of other stars are already arriving at our doorstep. This comet is a kind of bridge, helping us understand how different star systems work, and maybe even offering one of the strongest clues yet that life could be universal. And so, these possibilities leave scientists facing an even bigger question. If 3I Atlas is this unusual, is it only a matter of time before we encounter visitors that are even more mysterious? The interstellar travelers appearing in the sky. First Oumuamua, then Borisov, and now 3I Atlas. Each one seems like a silent messenger drifting in from the unknown corners of the universe, as if carrying messages beyond our comprehension. Each leaves behind a different secret, a different signature, and we are left only to follow their traces. Perhaps this is just the opening of the curtain. Perhaps in the years ahead, the sky will host far greater, far more terrifying spectacles. The warning whispered by James Webb points to only one truth. The universe is far vaster, far stranger, and filled with mysteries far more unimaginable than we ever thought. And we are still only at the prologue of this endless story. What do you think about 3I Atlas? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. By liking and commenting on my videos, you can support the channel. See you again in the next mystery.